Hello everyone. In this video, we will discuss how to make indicators responsive to institutional changes and program interventions. Criminal justice agencies are often dynamic settings where institutional objectives, capacities, and constraints shift periodically and sometimes unpredictably. Because of this, managers require tools that help them to situate themselves amidst these changes, to quickly chart new courses for institutional reform, and to adapt their operational activities accordingly. At the same time, these tools should also help managers clearly articulate to their stakeholders how these changes relate to the plans of the past and goals for the future. Governance indicators are one such tool for managers in criminal justice agencies. When done well, they demonstrate responsiveness by being sensitive in noticing the kinds of changes to institutional processes and performances that occur from one period to the next, and also in reflecting a theory that connects these changes to institutional goals. Now, it must be said that developing such indicators with a requisite balance of sensitivity and robustness is as much an artistic exercise in creativity and intuition as it is a technical enterprise. The process is often iterative, with many false starts and opportunities for adaptive learning along the way. But we offer 4 suggestions to help you navigate the process of making indicators more responsive. First, you may wish to try a thought experiment and imagine what success for your institutional reform or intervention will look like at different points in the future. Ask yourself, if my intervention becomes successful over the first 6 months or a year, what will my indicator show to reflect that improvement? Will my indicator characterize that improvement in the same way if I were to check back in 3 years or 5 years? These are important questions for explaining institutional changes, especially for survey-based indicators, as research has shown public perceptions to be relatively resistant to change over the short term, even in instances where other more objective measures might indicate success. So if your indicator does not reflect substantive changes in a timely and clear manner, you might want to continue looking for more sensitive measures. Second, and in a related manner, you may wish to avoid using single indicators for a single target or outcome in favor of using a set of complementary indicators. Single indicators rarely measure an outcome well, particularly outcomes related to justice and safety that are very multidimensional. But as an alternative, using a set of 3 or 4 indicators helps ensure greater confidence when you find all the measures that point in an anticipated direction. Now, crafting a good set of indicators requires that we are mindful of the limitations of each indicator that we use, and that we're selecting other sibling measures that address those blind spots. For some good examples of this practice, you need only look at the UN Sustainable Development Goal 16, that offers several indicators for tracking each of its targets for peace, justice, and strong institutions. Now, if you find that your indicators are not capable of tracking change over the long term, or your basket of indicators might still be lacking, you may wish to take a third approach that seeks to turn these apparent flaws to your advantage by focusing on developing indicators for use at different points in the policy development process. For example, our work with different agencies in Ethiopia's justice sector revealed that some indicators would be particularly useful during the initial stages of the policy development process, when several possible policy options existed, and that policymakers required support in choosing the best option from the menu. However, once a policy option was selected, the indicators were less helpful during the implementation stage, further along in the process. So we call these types of tools auxiliary indicators. Auxiliary indicators will likely be temporary and disposable once a policy option is selected. but their lifespan is less important than their ability to prompt better decisions at the earliest stages by justice agencies. Our fourth and final suggestion for making indicators responsive to change and interventions is to manage your stakeholders' expectations. Now, this suggestion has nothing to do with the qualities of your indicator, but it is based on the reality that even when applying the preceding suggestions, you will not be able to track or explain every significant change over time. Governance indicators often have multiple audience groups and must be responsive to the needs, understanding, and expectations of each stakeholder group. Invariably, some of the stakeholders will have greater expectations of your indicator's ability to track progress and inform strategic discussions. And it is important to manage those expectations by being upfront about what your indicators offer and where they will produce ambiguous or potentially counterproductive results. We hope these suggestions are useful to you, and we encourage you to check out our website, A Measure of Justice, to learn more about making responsive indicators. Thank you for watching.